Biblical story inspired by Isaiah 58, verse 14. The man who chose alignment. In a small, dry land on the edge of the wilderness, there lived a man named Eliab. He was known among his people as a religious man. He fasted often, prayed loudly, and was always present in gatherings. Yet despite all his effort, his life felt heavy. His fields produced little. His heart felt empty, and his prayers seemed to echo back unanswered. One evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, a weary traveler passed through the village. Eliab welcomed him, offering bread and water. The traveler watched him closely and then asked, "Why does your spirit seem troubled, though your hands are busy with the things of God?" Eliab sighed. He fussed. "I pray, I seek God, yet nothing changes." The traveler looked at him with calm intensity and said, "You honor God with your actions, but not with your life. You seek him with your mouth, but not with your ways." Those words struck Eliab deeply. That night he could not sleep. He began to reflect, not on what he had done right, but on what he had ignored. He realized he had been harsh with those who worked for him. He had ignored the hungry at his gate. He had kept up appearances while his heart remained unchanged. The next morning, everything shifted. Eliab didn't begin with prayer. He began with obedience. He called his workers and treated them with fairness. He opened his storehouse and fed the poor. He restored what he had taken unjustly. He humbled himself, not before people, but before God. Days passed, then weeks. Something began to change, not just around him, but within him. A deep, steady joy rose in his heart. It wasn't loud or emotional. It was quiet, strong, and unshaken. Then, the land began to respond. Rain fell on his fields. His crops began to flourish. Doors opened that had long been shut. Honor replaced struggle. One evening, Eliab stood on a hill overlooking his land, now green, thriving, and full of life. He lifted his eyes to heaven and understood. God had not been distant. God had been waiting for alignment, waiting for truth, waiting for obedience. And now, Eliab was no longer striving to be seen as righteous. He was walking in it. From that day on, his life became a testimony. When a man aligns with God, God lifts him, fills him with joy, and causes him to rise above every limitation. For what God has spoken, he surely fulfills.